Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily Tesla report for Tuesday, October 7th, 2025. Let's take a look at the charts. Start with the big picture, and that was a month ago. We closed above the 362.39 2.5-year channel top, among other line studies that were in the same vicinity. It had held nicely from May onward. We closed above it a month ago. That set off a signal for anticipating 524.64. I mentioned a 5 to 8 month objective, which does allow the market to top out midterm for a month or two at 469.54, a steeply rising 7-month channel top. You can see the same structure on the daily chart at 462.82. This area remains in reach today, in fact, holding above number one, this rising channel bottom that is still a tradable level at 443.57, although we reduce it to a minor point only. Our downward pivot point into later week would be a settlement back below the low of the high. Now, we did close below the low of the high on Friday, but we gapped right back above it. When I say gapped, we opened higher back above 435.57. So I still see this as a pivot point into later week. If we close below 435.57 within a matter of 2 to 3 days, this 405.58 extreme rising channel bottom in conjunction with this former rising channel top at 404.24, this area would be a 2 to 3 day target where we could bottom out on a daily, possibly into next week basis. I may bump this up to a 3-star support. It probably deserves that, especially given the fact that we've come off of this channel top, and rather than cascading south aggressively, you can see we're kind of settling into, I don't want to say use the word settle because it's just 2 or 3 days old, but we have a bounce back above the low of the high. We've bounced back above, the low, this channel bottom. And so I think the framework is a wild but two-sided, high volatility, two-sided framework where as we continue into later October, you can sell the 460s and buy the low 400 region. This is kind of what I would call our 2 to 3 week framework. So I think you can anticipate over the next day or so that we will bump this up to a 3-star support. But also know that having tested the channel top at 469.54 last week, the channel bottom that is soon to be in the 360s remains in play over the next month or two. And if we were over the next week or two to close below 404.25, then we're anticipating that 362.39 level, which lines up nicely with a rising channel bottom. Do I show it? Yes, here at 352.30. So this really shows our...
If you're finding value in this analysis, it's only a glimpse of what we offer. Your real trading edge starts at wickedstocks.com. Each week, premium members receive 2 high-probability stock picks. Each one comes with a complete trade plan, including exact entry, profit target, stop loss, and regular updates so you can manage the trade with confidence. You'll also get daily video analysis in the top traded markets, the SPY, the Triple Q, and NVIDIA, highlighting the key price levels, trends, and trade setups we're focused on. Whether you're day trading or swing trading, these insights help you zero in on the highest quality opportunities with clarity. Try it all free for 5 days. Cancel at any time.
Our next 1 to 2, 2 to 3 week sell signal on weakness, closing below the 404.24 to 405.58 region. This will be bumped up to 3-star support because closing below it does represent a meaningful sell signal on a 2 to 3 week basis. The 352.30 to 362.39 region, if tested over the next 2 to 3 to 5 weeks, can absorb selling actually through the rest of the year. 362.39 is once again this long-term channel top, and I don't want to blur the objective overall of 524.64. We are anticipating that above 362.39. It's just that on the way up, this market can stall out at 469.54 and ease back. The question is how far south. I think this market is susceptible to falling back into the 350s, 360s over the next month or so. That becomes confirmed essentially with a violation of this 404.24 to 405.58 area. Until then, if you're a 1 to 2 week swing trader with this kind of volatility, you can sell the 460s and buy the low 400s. And if you're kind of a 2 to 3 day swing trader, just know that closing today below 435.57 does set up 404.24 to 405.58 as a 2 to 3 day target. Until then, we can push back into the 460s. 462 469.82, the beginning of a range up to 469.54 that can contain buying, I'm going to say through November, and below which we can fall back into the 360s over that time frame. As I've already said, if we do close the week above 469.54, then I'm anticipating the 524.64 area in as little as 2 to 3 weeks. In fact, on an intra-week basis, I do want to mention that if we close any day this week, let's say today, for instance, Tuesday, we certainly have precedent for that kind of volatility. If we close today above 469.54, I think if you're short the market, you should exit your short position. Should you reverse and go long, I think you can scale into a long position. I would see 488.53, that December high, within the following day probably. And yes, this thing can just pull away if we close any day above 469.54. But if we don't close any day until Friday above 469.54, that is your weekly settlement. That's the one that I like to wait for. It is more technically reliable than the daily settlement. Closing above 469.54, 524.64, likely within 2 to 3 weeks, where we could top out through the rest of the year. Until then, this market is susceptible to falling back into the 360s between now and the end of November. I am going to leave it at that for Tuesday's Daily Tesla Report. You have a great day.